All right. So hello, everybody. Welcome in. Hey, look, as you guys are coming on in, please introduce yourself. Let me know what city and state you guys are chiming in from. What city and state you guys are chiming in from, city and state. And also share with me one thing that you guys have learned so far as you come on in. As you also do that, I'm gonna make sure that I do my part and set this up the right way. But super excited, guys, to have you here today. We're going to have an action-packed day again. This is day 3 of New Year, New You online. I'm telling you guys, day 1, all my No Limit soldiers, where you at? All my No Limit soldiers, where you at? That was awesome. And then yesterday we had a chance to hear from Elam King, author of Understanding a Man, and he was talking to us all about relationships and business. And I saw a lot of us got fed yesterday, so that was definitely exciting. And today, I promised you, as I promised and told y'all yesterday, I have a treat for you. So as you come on in, please make sure that you do share your city and state where you're chiming in from so we can shout you out. We're about to get started in about 1 minute. Y'all see I'm on my phone here because I want to make sure that I can share these details. I'm pumped up. I don't know about y'all, but yesterday had me on fire to the point I'm so fired up because I know what's going to happen. Let me turn this down. I can't even sleep. Like last night, I could not go to sleep, y'all. It was like 1 a.m. and I'm talking to my friend like, I can't, he like, I got a meeting tomorrow in the morning. I was like, look, I can't even sleep. I'm pumped up because there's so many great things that are coming. But let me shout y'all out. We have Karen KJ Johnson out of Dallas, Texas, Charisma chiming in from New York, Corliss chiming in from Houston, Texas. We have Valerie in Houston, Texas. Good morning. We have Rebecca all the way on the West Coast chiming in from California. We've got Miss Maya chiming in from Port St. Lucie. We have Lawrence chiming in from Oakland, California. Okay, California, I see y'all. We have Debbie in Jacksonville, Florida. By the way, do me a favor, y'all. Share this video. Share this video. If you know that you have been fed, I promise you today's story is going to, y'all might need to get some tissues or something. Because I'm telling you, not that she gonna cry, but the story gonna have you crying. I promise you. Guys, share this video. Tag some people. They cannot miss this. I promise you. They cannot miss this. So anyways, as I was saying, okay, we've got Savannah, Georgia on the line. Minneapolis, Minnesota. We have Sunrise, Florida. Gary, Orangeburg, South Carolina. Gary, Indiana. Guys, you are representing Atlanta, Georgia is in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, Charmaine said if you don't balance, you'll bleed in other areas. That's something that she learned yesterday. That's what I'm talking about. We have Atlanta, Georgia, Charleston, South Carolina, Fort Lauderdale, Florida is on the line. Hello, Durham, North Carolina, Daytona Beach, Florida. All right, we see you guys. Don't forget, also share with us one thing that you learned yesterday from the broadcast. Elisa Mitchell, Florida's in the house. Stephanie at Baytown, Texas is in the house. By the way, just so I can remind you guys, tomorrow is Friday, okay? Tomorrow is Friday at the time of this recording. For those of you, let me tell you something. They got cheap flights coming to Houston. I got a round trip from Houston to Atlanta for $100. You should come to Houston, Texas on January the 12th. We have the New Year, New You luncheon that's going to be taking place from 12 to 5. You can get you an early flight and then leave out that night. You should come to Houston, Texas, doing a buy one, get one free ticket to the luncheon where you're going to get a chance to meet some of Houston's movers and shakers. And I promise you this, guys, the way I'm going to introduce our speaker today, I'm going to set the tone. I'm not going to say it just yet, but I promise you, if you have been telling yourself, I need to grow this year, my business needs to grow, my relationships need to grow, my health needs to grow, my spiritual connections need to grow, guys, you've got to start investing in yourself. So there's still some buy one, get one tickets available. People are flying in. Some people like, can you bring it to New York? No, make the sacrifice and come to Houston. Can you bring it to Georgia? No, make the sacrifice and come to Houston, okay? I promise you, when you do things like that, stuff starts to change for you, all right? So anyways, I'm gonna shift gears because we've been having a great time. Let me see. Maria says, don't dumb down your dreams for your relationship. That's what she learned yesterday. Lisa says counseling is mandatory. All right. Yes, honey. We got to get that counseling in. We got the communication. You know, one thing I learned is effective communication is everything when it comes to building relationships. Well, guys, as I said, I'm going to shift gears. The young lady that I have on today, bring her beautiful face on the screen. First of all, you know, she can definitely relate to the conversations that we had yesterday in regards to relationships, you know, with your husband and your wife and building business, because she is doing that and she is doing it with excellence. But let me tell you something. This young lady, I'm not going to read this right here. You're going to tell us more about that, but I do have questions. But from what I know from her, this is what I want to talk about. I'll never forget when I first met Becky. And I'm one of them type of people where I can be, I don't know, you know, Becky probably can relate, but when I'm an introvert extrovert, right? And when I met her, I just knew her. And so I'm not one of them type of people that runs up to people and they're like, oh my God, I don't know. It's like, I got to position us in the right way for us to communicate. And I would just knew that like, she is somebody that I know I want to be connected to. She not only is serving the community, but she serves and she's doing things with excellence. And she always was super fly. Like, I was just like, I don't even know, you know, I'm a t-shirt and jeans type of girl. She'd be busting out outfits. I'd be like, who made that for you? Right. Had a chance to speak with her. We spoke on the same platform at a conference that my sister, Martha Cooper Hudson, did. And it was a blessing because when we got on the bus to go, she sat beside me. And it was kind of like, okay, this is the time. This is it. This is it, Lord. Right. And so we had a chance to talk on the bus, and we just instantly connected. And she started telling me about all the great things that she was doing. And she built one of the fastest women organizations for business owners. And I'm telling you guys, it's just continuing to grow. She's also has the movement I Support Her that launched last year, and it is growing. Just incredibly. But let me tell you really where everything started. She was in corporate America. And I always talk about this, you know, and even Elam talked about this yesterday. Just because you're making a great income, if it's not fueling your purpose, guys, that's not going to be something that's going to excite you every day. And she's going to tell us a little bit how this started. But I saw her post this picture, and this is a picture that was some years ago where she made the conscious decision to walk away from a 6-figure salary. And a lot of people looked at her like she was crazy. Well, she's moved on, and not only has she created a platform where she teaches people how to take the information and knowledge that you have and monetize it, but honey, she's out here killing it. Last year, she was sponsored by Coca-Cola and traveled all across the United States speaking at HBCUs. She's partnered with other major corporations. And I said, anybody for this year, I can only be around people who are going to the next level. So before I get you to speak, Becky, one thing I want to tell you guys that this is so pivotal. I was on Instagram talking about this. I'm gonna watch my mouth because I got a little potty mouth. And I was on Instagram and I was talking about how one time I was at this event, and no disrespect to anybody that was there, but I was looking around, and these were the same people that I had been around for the whole couple of years that I had been trying to build a business. Mm-hmm. And I had gotten to a point where it was time to grow and go to the next level. Mm-hmm. But the people that I was around were not growing and going to the next level. See, this was events where I didn't really have to pay any kind of money to invest in, $20 maybe for food. These were events where, everybody was just trying to sell each other. Nobody was really elevating each other. And I need everybody to please listen to me what I'm saying. I knew that in order for us to grow to $1 million business, which by the way, 99% of most of businesses will not survive past 10 years. Right. So in order for us to grow to $1 million business, Taria had to start positioning herself around people who were better, who were growing, and who had bigger visions than she did. Becky Davis is one of those women who inspires me. And guess what? She's not waiting on Taria to be able to grow and go. I'm telling you, since last year, I was like, girl, I got to get it together, because not that we weren't building, but I've seen what she's doing. And I love somebody like that that's not waiting on nobody. And she nominated herself, my No Limit Soldiers. She nominated herself and said that she would be great regardless of who was coming with her. I want to introduce you guys to Becky A. Davis. Becky, what's going on, girl?
Girl, you gonna make me shed a tear on this side.
I'm sorry.
I love it. I'm so excited to be here with you. Let me say this. It's always amazing to me, because when we got on that bus, what you were thinking, I was thinking the exact same thing. This is my time to have a conversation with this young lady, because when we spoke on the same platform at Martha's event, but I saw you speak at Edeline's event, and that was the first time I saw you speak, and I was like, that's a little powerhouse right there. That's a go-getter right there. And I just knew it was a matter of time. I saw you a couple of times after, but I always wait to God's nudge to make the contact. And when I saw you were going to be speaking at Martha's event, I was like, he'll open the door. And sure enough, when we got on that bus, we're both thinking the exact same thing. I was like, this is the opportunity. Let me sit next to her. This is the opportunity for us to talk and let it open up and be what it's going to be. I knew it was going to be something, but I knew it was going to come organically too. So I feel the exact same admiration for you and with your hustle and your grind, because a lot of people talk. But I see action from you, and I am an action taker. And so when you see other action taker, it's attractive to me. It draws me to other action takers. So I'm excited to be here.
Well, thank you so much. Look, I feel look, Becky Davis is a big deal. I don't know. Y'all need to recognize. And if y'all not following her, honey, by the end of this presentation, that you go and follow her. I'm serious, y'all. She is not playing. And for you to say those things, that just definitely warms me up. It inspires me to get busier. Okay. When somebody that's a go-getter tells you you're doing it, like, I'm like, girl, well, you ain't seen nothing yet. Okay. Okay, Becky, rewind. Let's rewind real quick to 6 years ago.
Yes.
It's so ironic that you posted that literally a couple days ago, as we're getting ready for New Year, New You, you know, and I don't mean to put a damper on the situation, but there's so many people who did not wake up today.
Right.
And you were put into a position where I like to call it was a paradigm shift for you. Mm-hmm. Tell us what was going on 6 years ago in your life.
So I was working in corporate America, climbing the corporate ladder, very well. And I had it's not pull this down. And I had been saying I was going to start my own business 3 years before the life defining moment. So I kept saying, well, you know, I'm going to start my own business, and a year passed by, and then I'd say, well, next year, and then the second year, and then the third year. And even in the third year, I said, okay, next year I'm going to go. And all honesty, when I look back and just am transparent with myself, I was scared to lose the paycheck. And so I was doing all the right things to launch, but scared to launch because I was the security of the paycheck. But I had a surgery, which was a surgery that's performed on women all the time, had abdominal surgery. And on December the 29th, 2011. And 3 days later, on January 1st, January 3rd, 2012, I was rushed back to the hospital. My vitals was going crazy. I had lost a lot of blood. And we get there, and they're running all these tests. The nurse is like, we got to figure out what's going on because we're losing her. They're trying to get IVs inside of me. My veins had collapsed. My husband said he saw me turning white. He saw the color going out of my skin, and it was scaring him. And I was dying, actually. And once they got me through surgery, and when I came out, the doctor came to tell me what happened. The surgery that I had 6 weeks earlier, they forgot to close an organ. So I hemorrhaged for 6 days. So 6 days of hemorrhaging. And it was at that point where the blood had collapsed in my stomach, which is why my vitals were crazy and they couldn't get to anything. But the morning that I woke up, when I opened my eyes in that recovery room, and I knew what had transpired before I went out, I was still alive. That was such a profound moment for me, because I was like, God is the keeper, is the giver and taker of life. I'm still here because he has work for me to do, and I'm not doing it. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna abandon the fear, or I'm gonna drag the fear with me, but I'm gonna take this leap of faith, because I believe in a way that I've never believed before, because I have life. And so I went back to work 2 months later and said, I'm out. And my whole company just went into, well, why? Well, you can come work for this division, or you can. I was like, I'm out. And they were like, are you working for a competitor? No, I'm starting my own business. And they were still kind of like, what is that about? But the company was such a great company. I learned so much within the company, and they saw my skills, my skill set, because they had me traveling all over the company, training and development, other VPs, other regional managers. And I was like, I can do this for myself. And it took me a while, because, we second guess our gift over and over again. But the fact that I was still living, I was determined to believe that my belief would carry me a lot along the way. And I'm a checks and balance person. I like to get all the ducks in a row. But I learned in business, get 2 or 3 ducks up and go with that, and then the other ducks will come. I was never going to get all the ducks in a row for it to be the perfect time to leave. It had to, God know, he had to push me all over the edge to say, now do you see me? Now are you ready? And so that was my awakening, is what I really call that, because when I stepped out, I was like, okay, I don't know all of the steps, but you will reveal them to me. As long as I take steps, you will reveal them. And that's exactly what has happened. In 6 months of launching my business, I knew without a doubt that that was what I was supposed to do, because within 6 months, I had my first contract. It was the first $20,000 contract. 2 months later, I got another $20,000 contract. And I was like, oh, okay, okay, I can do this. But it was enough for him to show me, to open the doors for me to continue to progress through it, not without its ups and downs, because believe me, I've had headaches, but not enough to make me ever turn away from what I'm supposed to be doing, and walking in my purpose has opened the doors for my business, my career, and it's made me a better person.
I love it. I love it. And we got so many people, as you can see, that are commenting. Guys, keep on sharing what nuggets you're getting from Becky, because she's dropping them. She's dropping them. I caught so many from just that story alone, Becky. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm truly inspired by you making the decision to do what you did. And many of us, like you said, we're not using our gifts. And we know that we're called to do more. We know that our experiences are for a purpose, but we keep on procrastinating. We keep on stopping. We keep on allowing situations and things to keep us from taking action. That's why I like to call this New Year, New You. But the truth is this: if you don't change between that new year and new you, if you don't do the work, if you don't stop making excuses, if you don't stop allowing people to draw you in, because that was the test. Yes. She said she was leaving and people were calling you from your departments. Hey, you can come over here. I know they was throwing money at you and everything. All type of golden carrots.
Exactly. They continued to throw, and I was like, I'm gone. And I left. I was good. Here's what got me. Like 2 years after I was gone, then I get an email from one of the leaders in the organization, one of the executives in the organization, actually asking me to to come back for another position. I had one of our leaders go to another company. They called me from that company, offered me, the salary was so good. My husband started to make me, you need to think about this. Wait a minute now, you move. And I was like, no, I cannot. I said, that is just trying to pull me from my gift. And I said, the money that they're offering, it is good. And I said, but I can have that on my own within the next year or so. So why would I wait and go there and have to follow through there? I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not taking the offer. They pursued me for a month. And so you talking about having to have some inner strength and to say no, because it was the most money I ever made. Yeah. Oh yeah. I was like, we're not doing this. Not doing it.
Tingles. Who else has got tingles? If you got tingles right now, I want you to put tingles, because I know many of us know about when we get those golden carrots, whether it's, and it doesn't always, remember, this is all about mind, body, and soul. So sometimes maybe that golden carrot is he looked good at the right time. That could be one, or it might be, hey, if you take this pill, you ain't got to work out. You just take this pill, honey, and you can just eat what you want to eat. See, it's all types of distractions, right? That'll come your way when you set a goal to do something great. When you set a goal to do something that everybody else ain't doing, you're going to be distracted. And what Becky is telling you, she didn't look left. She didn't look right. She didn't let nobody tell her what she was ordained and assigned to do, because the vision was only given to her. So now let's talk about this, Becky, because now moving into information, the information age right now is huge. Yeah. I'm telling everybody, look, it's people that you can make money teaching people how to do anything. Becky, look, you see, I got this little board right here. Do you know it's some people who don't know how to organize boards, and you can create a whole program teaching people how to organize your life. You can teach people how to clean a house, or you can teach people how to look. There's so many how-to things, and so a lot of times I want you guys to really position yourself in the right way, because what she's about to talk about is monetizing things that you already know how to do. And so getting into the space of education, guys, that's what we talk about. Writing a book. You can write a book about anything. You can write a book. You can teach people how to be happy. There's people out here who make millions of dollars teaching people just how to be happy. Yes. So the first thing I want to ask you is, you left corporate America, you started getting these contracts, but now you're actually out here educating people, and you created an online course. So tell me, how did you get into teaching? How did you get into first doing your first online course?
So what I realized is that I've been doing this in corporate America for some years now. And I have been doing it, taking my team to the next level. So it was like training and development departments in a corporation is time consuming to get stuff done. And I was tired of waiting on getting things done. So I would create a program, teach my team the program, and then the company would be like, hey, what did you do? How are you getting the results that you're getting? And it would be through the training that I would be doing. And so when I started my business, I started working with small businesses, and I was doing the same thing. I was doing training programs as well. And the big thing happened when I was going and doing team training with my clients, but we couldn't get our calendars set at one point in time. And I was like, they need to get this training. I can't get to them and their calendar. So I was like, listen, let me put this program together online. They'll go through that, and then I'll do follow-ups one-on-one. We did that, and my client was like, oh, can we do that for all of them? So I started creating those programs for them. And I was like, okay, that was working with my clients where I'm working with teams. My big aha, and I had been doing curriculum. My brand coach had told me that I needed to do more curriculum setting, because she said most businesses struggle with that. People don't know how to write curriculum. And she was like, I would love to take a course on learning how to write curriculum as a brand coach. And I was like, really? Because, so our gift is so second nature to us. We don't see the value that others see in it. And so I was like, okay, I guess it is a gift and a skill. Biggest aha is when I partnered with Coca-Cola. I partnered with Coca-Cola because they had a program in place. It was an online program, and it wasn't doing great. They were wanting to touch more women, get to more women with this training. And so I was partnered with another organization that was partnered with Coke, and they made me responsible for the Coke program. So I looked at what they had and I was like, this could be better. And so I just put together what I thought it should look like. And then I did it for Coke. They saw me do it live. And the VP came up to me afterwards and said, no one has ever done you know more about our program than we do. Well, it's my industry, it's my area to know. And I was like, well, there were some areas that we needed to bring to life. We needed to get it more engagement. And so I just kind of put a curriculum together to do that. And so we ended up doing a 2-year partnership for me to teach that program all over where Coke does their events. After the 2-year contract, we signed another 3-year contract up until 2020 I revamped the program, redid it for them, and just refreshed it, made it a little bit more live, a little bit different than we had before, just because we would be in some of the same places that I went to the year before. And that was, for me, it's like, listen, if this Fortune 50 company is saying, wow, then you need to be teaching people how to do this. And that's when I said, okay, let me just write down everything that I do. And then I started doing it and doing my online courses. And my online courses were, my first online course, it was like taking the knowledge that I know to show people how to take a step. I probably made $700 on the course. But after I was like, okay, there's something I'm missing from an online standpoint that I don't know how to do. When I figured that out, I launched the course and did $25,000 in the launch of that course. And I was like, okay, I think I might be on to something. And so, so then it was like, okay, now let me just put this to where I can really help people to be able to create passive income with what you already know. And most people think, well, I can't do a course. It's a lot easier than you think. And everybody who has a business need that passive income that is coming to them online, where they've already done the work up front and you just make the money on the back end.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, y'all. Look, who's trying to make that 25,000? If you say, you know what, that sounds real good, say I need my 25,000. I want everybody to type that in the comment space, because look, to launch a business and launch your online course, and imagine in your first month or in your first 2-3 months, in your first 90 days, you make 25,000. If you need your 25,000, I need everybody to type in, I need my 25,000. Now, this, Becky, because I think, one of the biggest challenges I see from a lot of folks is that they feel like they need to have some kind of special certification before they can actually educate people. I'm just here to let y'all know I'm not certified in nothing but life experiences. Mm-hmm. And I'm just teaching what I know. So what is your answer to people that feel like they need to go get certified or they need to go do this before they can actually educate other people?
My thing, so an expert is someone who knows a little bit more than everybody else about a particular area. So if I have been writing courses for 10 years in corporate America, I might know a little bit more about the person who's never written a course. So to them, guess what that makes me? An expert. So now I take what I know and what I've been doing. It's the same thing with the person who knows how to make homemade cakes. They've been doing them for years. You've never made a cake. Guess who's an expert in cake baking? They are. And it's cake baking. Where are you going to get a certification for cake baking? It's your experience that got you there. And so when people get so caught up on, well, I don't know enough. What do you know more? And it's the things that we take for granted. The skill that people are like, you're so great at that. And you was like, I need to do better, but everyone else can't do it. And it's those things that we take for granted as that's a skill set. I had a lady who, she's an accountant by trade, and she was thinking about doing an online course. And she was like, but I do taxes. I said, I want you to tell me, what's the top 3 questions that you get every year, all the time? She could name them right off the bat. And I was like, That is how you help people. I said, instead of you answering and said, okay, so here's what you do. Stop answering it, turn the answer into money, put it in an online course, answer their questions, and then offer it to them. So every year at taxes, when you get that question, you say, oh, I have a solution for you. For $49.95, I'll walk you through everything that you need to do to save $1,000 in your taxes. And she was like, what? I was like, you're an expert at it. You know what to look for. But she never thought about turning that knowledge into helping other people. That was the opportunity. Everyone, every last person that is listening right now, there is something that you do that's better than most, where you know a little bit more than most. And online courses is a $255 billion industry. I did not use the M word. I used the B word. $1 billion, and it's on the uptrend. So within the next 7 years, it is going to double. So we're already at $255 billion. It is going to double in the next 7 years. Why shouldn't you get some of that? Yes, exactly. That's what I said. I said, well, my online courses need to be generating 6 figures, a minimum of 6 figures a year. And then from there, I need to go to the 7 figures. And it can be done. And it's done from your home. You don't have to go out. You don't have to, you do the work and do the work up front. And then you create where you're teaching people. Because when you become a teacher of anything, you make money.
Yes.
You have to be teaching somebody something.
Now look, I got to ask you a question though, because that's a good thing you just said. When you become a teacher of anything, you make money. But what about people who don't want to charge? Hold on. Let me put a better, because I get a lot of times, Becky.
Yes.
A lot of people tell me, well, Taria, you know, it's not really about the money. I just want to help people. And I said, well, and I say, well, in order to help anybody, you got to have some coinage coming in. So I want to talk to my women and men who maybe feel like they should not charge for the information that they know. What is your answer to that? And how does someone overcome not understanding the value in charging?
So this is the crazy thing. So if you want to help people, how in the world can you help them if you don't help yourself? How in the world can you, because guess what? Your coins will get low because you're helping people. And that.
Uh-oh. Did we lose you, Becky? Can y'all hear Becky? Uh-oh. You see how the devil work. Becky, where you at, girl? Ooh, I knew that was going to be good. Let me tell you something, guys. We're going to try to get Becky back. Can you guys hear her, or is it just me? What'd you say, Brajoya Child Boo? You sound like me. The worker is worthy of their hire. That's the book. Yes, it is, girl. Put that. You need to go and get it together. Becky, we lost you, love. We lost you. We're going to wait for her to come back. Guys, I want you to keep on posting. Let me know what city and state you have chimed in from. What city and state, if you did not get a chance to do that. But I'm going to tell you this, again, we've got some great announcements that are coming up with Becky and Bosspreneur and all types of stuff that we're going to be doing. And so I'm extremely excited about that. But make sure as she comes back on in, you guys let us know what city and state. Also, if you have a question for Becky, make sure you put question, comma, and then whatever your question is so that we can ask her. But yeah, the devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. Hey, look, as we're waiting on her, I also want to announce, don't forget, as soon as we finish this broadcast, we're going to log off and then we're going to do our next drawing, okay? For everybody that is registered. We're going to do the next drawing so that you guys can get a chance to win the New Year, New You. Also, for all of you guys who are in Texas or you want to come and visit your girl in Texas, we have January the 12th, the New Year, New You lunch until tomorrow night. You can do a buy one, get one ticket. We have some of Houston's movers and shakers. We're doing a panel edition. Every single person who is registered to come gets an autographed copy of this book, A Six-Figure Vision. By the way, has anybody ever read this book? If you've never read this book, my loves, you need to read this book, not just because I wrote it, but I talk about some really good stuff in here. Anybody that I've ever come across that's read this book, they've got stuff highlighted. They got tabs in a book. We talk about mentorship. We talk about what to do with your dollar. We talk about how to balance and leverage and stuff like that. So everybody who registers gets a free autographed copy. We're also going to be doing, we're also going to have goodie bags for everyone who is registered. See, the purpose of doing this launch, honestly, guys, this lunch is for me to introduce myself officially to everybody in Houston. So make sure you get your ticket, buy one, get one free. She's coming back, guys. She's coming back. Thank you, Coco. She's coming back. Kyle said he got his and he started it. Awesome. And if you're not coming and you want to get it, all you got to do is go to asixfigurevision.com and you can get a copy of that. I'm going to be giving away some copies as well. So we're waiting on Becky to get back in here. She said her computer froze. And so we're going to wait for her to join us back in. But anyways, yes, from 12 to 5 on January the 2nd, you can fly in early and leave at night. They got round trips, y'all, for the low flying into Houston. And we got Spirit too. You can come through Spirit and make that sacrifice. Start your year off doing stuff that you normally don't do. I want y'all to be able to make it normal for you to fly into somewhere one day and then go hit something up and then go back home. That's normal stuff. You fly in because you want to go sit on the wood at the game and then you leave out. You know what I'm saying? You just flew in just for that. I want you to make things like that normal. Fly in so you can go to this particular store because this is what you want to buy. And then you leave out. You've got to start doing those things and knowing that this is something that you deserve. Remember what we said, nominate yourself. Nominate yourself for greatness. Don't wait for nobody else to tell you how great you are. Don't wait for nobody else to tell you that you deserve. Now, I don't know, we're going to keep on waiting on her to make it back in. But y'all, I'm just so grateful and so excited. Let me see what some of the questions. Do you have a diversity? Okay, well, I'll let her answer that question. I know I don't have any kind of certifications. I personally don't have any certifications. Last year, I don't like to say how much money I made no more because, Uncle Sam be looking at your stuff. But last year, without any kind of business certifications, we had well over 800 students and collaborators and co-authors join our university. We paid out over $250,000 in commissions to our collaborators, to our educators, and to any partners. And so that's without any certification. Now, if you want to have a certification, you know the best certification, be an author. You can do that, and then you can use this to get on the news and all type of stuff. So now I'm not saying for any of you guys that went and got a certification, don't, if you got it, you got it, use it, right? But don't let that be what keeps you guys from actually making a decision to go out here and help people on what it is that you know how to do. Let me just ask you guys, tell me one or two things that you know how to do easy, or that a lot of people come to you for, or things that you love to do without thinking about. Tell me one or two things, and I'm gonna tell you how people are getting paid for that. This is the new normal, I claim. Yes, that's your new normal. Question: How do you know what to charge for your first course? Well, what I will tell you is based on you look at what other people are charging within your industry, right? And pay attention to what people are charging in courses, period. Now, there's people who do all types of stuff. And I'm going to tell you this. Let me give you this. There's two different types of clients that you can have. Okay. You can have a client who is, who's a lower investor, and you'll end up with a lot of more people that will invest lower amounts of income, like maybe the $27 courses or the $47, those $97 courses. And so you can have those programs, but then you can also have your programs where you're charging a higher price, $997, $29.97, $49.97. I'm talking about thousands. Okay. And what you're going to find is that there's a different caliber of people that you may deal with based on what the investment cost is. Okay. I just want you to understand. So you got to think about what kind of client it is that you want to serve. What's also important when you're identifying the price point of your course, you got to think about who is the target market. What is the challenge that they have? When you can be more specific, you know, I remember when I thought I wanted to be an actress, y'all. I thought I wanted to be an actress. And I went to LA for a whole month to take this international studies course. Well, it was because most of the people who had flew in from other countries. It was me and two other people that were in the course from the United States. And I remember when we would get prepared for class, and we would be given some sides that we had to read, and we were prepared that particular part of the thing. I don't remember all the verbiage, but what we would do is we had to create a whole scenario of that person's life. We had to create what challenges that person was dealing with. We had to think about what they were wearing, maybe something that had happened right before that scene, so that we could get ourselves into character. Well, when you start thinking about the people that you serve in this course, this is where a lot of people mess up. They don't figure out who is that person to the T. Most of us, we want to try to serve everyone. Well, guys, I promise you this. If your price point is $27 or $47, there's going to be people that are used to investing $997, and they may look at a $27 course and not see value before even buying it because of the price point. I know that for a fact because I've invested a lot of income into courses and coaching and education. So when I look at a program, if it's priced a little low, to me, automatically, I might think that it doesn't provide as much value. Does that make sense? So you got to think about who your target market is. Can you make six figures charging lower price? Yes. You're just going to have more customers versus having a higher ticketed price. And then even sometimes when you have a person who invests a smaller amount, you may deal with a lot of customer service situations, because when people spend less money, they tend to expect more results. So you got to make sure as well. Now, if you're going to charge under $97 for your programs, don't let these programs be where they are one-on-one type things, right? Like where if somebody invests $97, you're not going to get 5 one-on-one conference calls with me, because my time is one of my most valuable assets. So just like what Becky was saying, what she did was she created an online course because she found that after doing so many of these different calls and trainings, generally the principles were the same. Okay, you're going to find the principles and the information is the same. And then you create a stronger foundation. Does that make sense? So anyways, let me look at what some of you guys are doing, and I can show you how you can turn this into some education. Okay, let's see. Graphic design. So these are two different sides. You can have people who want to be graphic designers, and you can also have people. Okay, she's back. So we're going to get ready to bring her back in. But you can also have people who are clients. And you can create courses for people who want to learn how to do better graphics, or you can create for people who are graphic designers who want to learn how to get customers. Because if it's one thing I know about people who are in the creative space, a lot of times they're not necessarily marketers. And so you have graphic designers right now who are trying to figure out, how can I get more clients? I'm so good at what I do, but nobody's hiring me. So how can I do that? So that's an example of how you can create a course. Becky, look, I just kept it going as you were going back on it.
I love it. I was like, you gotta work, girl.
Thank you. Now, where were we at when you got cut off? You remember?
Yes, you had asked the question about why people don't create courses and not thinking they want to do it for free, or they want to But that's the way to take the free away. When people like, there's so many people like, I'm tired of everybody calling me. They want something for free. They want to pay for my services. That was how I initially started taking people to feed, where they would call and say, hey, I would love to learn how to do this. And I was like, great, I have a program. Here's the link. All you have to do is download, go ahead and purchase, download, and it's going to answer every question that you have. So I stopped giving it away and I started showing people, I'm going to give you the answer, but there's an investment to it. And we talk about it all the time. The people that don't want to invest, they just want to grow the fast way. There's no such thing. They want to grow the easy way. There's no such thing. You have to put something in on it to be able to get to the next level. And so I started, even the lady that was the accountant, I told her, you're answering these questions every year. You're filtering these questions. I said, why don't you make $49 off of every time you get that question? And she was like, I never thought about that. And when she set up her online course, she was like, that's money I never would have thought of making, because all she thought of doing her taxes, doing the taxes for people, doing she never thought about, I can be a teacher of information and help people do it themselves. It's every last person on here, you have something that you could turn into an online course. Like I said, the cake baker, she started showing, and guess what? Only people who wanted to bake cakes, homemade cakes, and would take her course, because they are foodies. They like to do events, and they want to get people to enjoy their food. But now she can make money on not just baking a cake and selling it. She can teach people. She don't have to even bake a cake. Just teach people how to do it, what you've been doing. Started making money. That's passive income that becomes a financial stability. She started making so much money on just teaching people how to do that she was like, I don't even think I'm baking anymore. Period.
I love it. And this is so real. So guys, remember, there's always different kind of clients and customers based on what you love to do. Now, Becky, I was kind of touching on this as you were going, and I was talking about different price points. And I find that, because some people are asking, how do I know what to charge? Now, I'm gonna be honest, like with me, just out the gate, when we started doing our courses, I started off at over $500, and we've continued to increase our value. And then there are some times where you can maybe charge 47 or 97. Do you recommend for the person who's charging like in the lower ticketed price, and what I mean by lower ticket is probably anything under $200, do you necessarily recommend when they create these online courses that they also include a lot of one-on-one time with you? Because I'm big on, I limit my time with people that make a low, so yeah, I want to know what your thoughts are on that.
Oh, when you just said that with these lower end prices and one-on-one time with you, huh? Well, what? Because that takes it to a whole nother level. And I think any online course, and if just based on all of the research I've done just around online.
Did we lose her again? What the world?
To attract.
We just lost her one more time. Okay, hold on. She coming back. Hold on, Becky. You got to answer it again because it froze up. So
okay.
Say one more time what you're saying.
The courses, you should launch a course. It should be $200 or higher. $500 is a good place to start, but you make sure that you're delivering good content too. Don't do a $500 course and make it sound all good, and then people walk away with no transformation. So $500 to start for the course, but you have to, especially when it comes to pricing. I always put in, if I'm putting in a component with me, it's a group component, and I'm doing it on Facebook Live. If there's my higher end courses, like I have courses that are $15,000, $2,000 for those courses, they might get one-on-one 30-minute call with me. Anything under that, you're going to get it in a group setting, because my time is really, really important. And I am guaranteeing that what you're going to get in the course will get you to the step. That I know without a doubt. You follow the system, you will get to the outcome to be able to make money, or to be able to do whatever it is that I'm teaching you in that course. It's important to me that you walk away with exactly that. So the better results that you can get for a client, and the quicker, the higher you can charge. Technology people can charge a lot for their courses if they can teach you do A, B, C, D minus and then D, and you'll get this in 7 days. They can charge higher for that. So if you can get a result and you can get the result quicker, the higher your course can be, the higher in the.
Oh, she keeps freezing, but I
the
think
software system. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay. We got it. It keeps locking up the devil busy because he know that there's some blessings on the way. Y'all, let me say something. Don't allow the distractions to keep you from the message. And a lot of us will do that. We'll jump off because we're like, oh, it's freezing. So let me jump off. Let me not pay attention. No, you got to listen hard. You got to pay attention and don't let the distractions to keep you from the message. I have another question, Becky, because another thing, I remember when I first was like, okay, first of all, I never wanted to be called a coach. I was like, I don't be a coach. But when I decided, okay, this is what it is, this is my title, I remember that I used to say, I want more people to take action. People that enroll into my course, I want them to take action. I want them to get results. And as we continue to enroll more people, the numbers don't lie. You still going to have a large majority of people who will enroll into your great program that teaches people exactly what they need to do, and they'll do absolutely nothing. Is it the responsibility of the coach to make sure that someone has success? Because I see that a lot. People get upset. They say, well, I didn't enroll her and she just disappeared, or he ain't doing the work. He don't listen. He only want to do one part. Is that your responsibility?
The one thing nobody can ever ensure is if you're going to do the work. You're going to do the work. And there's a difference when people do the work, what the outcome is. When I first started in corporate America, I was gung-ho. I was like, I know I want to go. This is what I need to do. And so I'm doing all of this stuff. I'm new to the company. And I had another manager come into the location that I was in. And he had been with the company 5 or 6 years. I had been there like a year and a half. And he came up to me one day and he said, what are you doing? And I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, all of this stuff you doing. I was like, I'm doing my job. He had been with the company 6 years and had worked in like 6 or 7 locations. He said, nobody is doing everything that you're doing. And I was like, but this is what our job entails. He said, like I said, nobody is doing what you're doing. We would go to conferences and then we're supposed to bring the information back to our teams and train them. Well, guess what I did? I went to the conferences, I brought it back, I trained my team. I started excelling, and the other managers that had been there 10 years, 15 years, when I took over a location from a person who had been waiting to him in line for 18 years, and in 2 years, I get the position, he was very pissed off, but he wasn't doing any work. And so even what I find today as business owners, as entrepreneurs, if I invest my money to go into a program, I'm going to get my money out of it, because I am going to do everything they tell me to do. And then I can say it doesn't work. But if I don't do the work, I cannot say your program doesn't work. And so it is not any coach's responsibility. Brendan Burchard is one of my coaches. I do a lot with his organization. Everything that every course I've ever taken, I've always people have went through his programs and said, man, it really didn't work for me. And the first question is always, did you complete the program? No. Well, I stopped. It got hard. Then you have to fight. That's what entrepreneurship is. You have to fight through it. So as a coach, as a guide, as an expert in whatever area that we're in, not my responsibility to force you to do it. I will guide you. And believe me, I push my clients hard. I know sometimes they're like, Becky, you're going to have to, it's like, okay, but you need to get it done. It's that accountability piece. But the one thing I can't do, I can't make them do it. I can't. No problem. Yeah, I can't make them do it.
I love it. I love it. And guys, I know a lot of us want to know the technicalities, and we will. What I'm going to do is I'm going to allow Becky to create an opportunity for you to connect with her more, so you can learn about the specifics and things like that. But we got to create the right framework first. Like, you can learn what platform to be on. You can learn how many steps you need to have, but we have to understand what keeps most coaches from having success. Number one is we're not charging enough for our value. You think that, you know what, I'm going to do what they do, but I'm going to charge $97. And then you end up with a headache of a whole lot of people who's complaining, ain't doing the work. Because I promise you, when somebody invests more money into something, they do stuff a little bit differently. And so I need y'all to, I see some of the questions coming in, but there's certain questions that I want you guys to be able to, or certain answers to understand first before the specifics, because coaching is not an easy business. And creating an online course, if you learn how to do it the right way, you can learn so much that can cause less headaches. All right. A lot of people want to do one-on-one. Becky, for somebody to work with you one-on-one, how much does that typically cost? Did you hear me? Uh-oh. I don't think, did y'all hear me? Can you hear me, Becky? Oh man, I don't think she can hear me. Becky, hello, darling.
Maria, okay, that she looks like she might be coming back. There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, the whole question, and I don't know. Oh, now, ask your question about how much. Hold on, let me see. Okay, how to. Let me see. Can y'all still hear me if I mute it? Can you hear me if I mute myself? If I turn the audio off?
I can hear you.
You can? Yes. I can't hear you right now, but I'm gonna mute it when you start talking. Because I want to ask one question and we're about to get ready to wrap it up. I don't know. Back frozen. She looks like she's back frozen. Hello.
Am I frozen?
No, you're not frozen, but I'm hearing the echo. But
Okay.
yeah, I hear this live echo. But anyway, so I'm gonna try to, if I mute myself, just shake your head up that you can hear. Okay, can you hear me still?
Yep.
Yes, okay. I don't know if it's still echoing. Echoing still?
Yeah, it has a little echo, but we can still hear what you're saying.
All right. So the question that I had asked you, I'm gonna just try to ask the question, is putting boundaries on your time. And a lot of times, one of the big challenges with being a coach is it can be very challenging because a lot of us do a lot of one-on-one work. And my question to you is, and if you learn how to create an online course, it can save you so much more time because you have your courses online. But if somebody does want to work with Becky on a one-on-one basis, what does that typically look like? Because I want people to understand where they need to place the value.
So let me make sure I heard it right. So if someone is going to work one-on-one with me, what would that look like? Is that what the question is? Okay. So and I am pulling away from more one-on-one. My one-on-one is I work one-on-one with, and then that is walking them through step-by-step strategizing for their business and their plan. And a part of that, my team, it helps
All right, so we're back, y'all, and I don't know if Becky is still here, but again, we are having some. This is what we're gonna do, y'all. I am going to, because we just keep on having these challenges, and I know, just like you said, you know, like Renee said, you know, it's really good when the enemy he wouldn't be fighting us so hard to get this information to us. So what I'm gonna do is, Becky does have a more intensive, some information to some things concerning your content cash. And what I'm going to do is provide to you guys a link to that training. So to everyone who is already registered, I'm going to email that to you as soon as we do our giveaway, so that you can learn more about the platform, so that you can learn. Or I'm just going to go ahead and send them your link to everybody who registered, because it's just, the devil is busy, the enemy trying to keeping us from making this happen.
It is fighting with us today.
Absolutely. So everybody who is registered on New Year, New You, Becky does have a course that's for you. I know everybody wants to know what different, there's all kind of platforms. Okay. Everybody wants to know what steps, there's all kind of steps. There's multiple ways to make this happen. But again, everybody always want to know the specific steps without creating that strong foundation. And that's why I'm being very adamant at asking certain questions, but we keep on freezing, and we got to get to the next thing, because I have several coaching calls today. I know you got some work to do, and I know you're busy. Y'all, by the way, we're going to be making a huge announcement in February. Huge announcement in February.
Yay!
A huge announcement. And so all I'm telling you, make sure y'all go follow. Becky is in the you're in the Facebook group, correct? Are you in the New Year, New You group? I believe she's in there. If not, I'm gonna bring her in there, but I'm gonna send you guys the link. You must be registered though. So you must be registered for the conference. Just because you're in the Facebook group does not mean that you're registered. I'm gonna send you guys the link. I'm gonna ask Becky if you have, because it still look like you frozen, but I'm gonna ask you if you could just leave us some last imparting words. I've been truly inspired by this. I hope you guys have, even through the challenges, because this is real life. This is what happens. Soon as you make a decision to do something great, soon as you make a decision to impact the world, soon as you make a decision to go left when everybody is going right, there's always going to be something to try to block you from making it happen. And many people do not have the wherewithal or the sustainability to keep on being focused even through the distractions. And so I want you guys to go ahead and make sure that, yes, it's coming in February. I'm going to send you the link, though, so you can check out her information in the program. I'm going to send that, but we can't share this big news to y'all until February. So y'all don't have to wait for that news and just keep scratching your hands and know that it's all about bringing some prosperity your way in mind, body, and soul, honey. But Becky, any last imparting words before we go ahead and close this thing on out?
You know, the one thing I will say is people who experience success and continued success, I always call it that they buy vows. Buying a vow, AEIOU. They take action. E, they execute. I, they implement. And OU is because you owe it to yourself to do that, especially if you've made an investment. So if you're taking in all this good information and it just feels good, if you don't take one action, don't expect to see success, and don't expect when you see people run so far ahead of you, you're like, what's happening? You're taking.
All right, so you kind of frozen again, but we heard a little bit of action and implementation, as Maya said. Action. Implementation. Look, when it's all said and done, action is the key, y'all. Action and implementation. Becky, thank you so much, and I appreciate you. Even with all these challenges, y'all saw she was actually at the Coca-Cola headquarters today, and had a meeting today. She's always booked and busy, and so she still joined us in the car. And then you saw she left the car, went to another. I don't know where you at, Chad, somewhere, and she was definitely making it her business to be connected to us. But even through that, sometimes some people lost the blessing because they didn't stay long enough to hear. So again, I'm gonna send you guys this incredible gift that she has made available to you. I'm going to send a link to you as soon as we get finished on today. Becky, we love you. We appreciate you. I cannot wait till February to this big announcement. And everybody, do not forget, those of you who are in Texas, Houston, Texas, near Texas, get your tickets to New Year, New You. I'm going to be giving away a couple of these I Support Her t-shirts here, so somebody's going to win those. Look, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Tomorrow, oh, how many of you guys have ever wanted to learn? I've got something real specific. They said, thank you so much, Becky, with the natural hair. Yes, honey, she be rocking them curls. Look, how many of you guys have ever wanted to learn about starting a cleaning company? Well, one of my mastermind students, Kawano Stanley, is going to be joining us on tomorrow, and she's going to share with you how she was able to leave her job and start a full-time cleaning business. I'm excited about this because some of y'all love to clean. I don't, but y'all love to, and I feel like if you love to, you should monetize it, baby. And so she's going to be talking to us tomorrow about that. And again, don't forget, as soon as we get done with our giveaway, I'm going to send you the link so that you can connect with Becky, and that is the deal. So look, make sure we log off. We're going to log back into Facebook right now. I'm going to log back in with my phone. You want to log back into Facebook so we can do our giveaways and see who's going to win on today. Becky, we love you.